Hello and welcome back to Mish Minds. This is the place where we dive deep into some of the world's most incredible books, one chapter at a time, every single day. Now, we just wrapped up our amazing journey through Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now. So I just wanted to say a massive thank you to everyone who followed along. Seriously, your comments and discussions were just fantastic. All right, so for our new book, we're going to switch gears a little bit. We've talked about financial wealth before, with books like The Psychology of Money, but now we're going after a whole different kind of richness. We're shifting from the how of making money to the why of living a long, happy, and truly meaningful life. And that brings us to our new series on Ikigai, the Japanese secret to a long and happy life. To really get what this book is all about, we have to start right where the authors did, with this really powerful story in the introduction that basically sparked their entire quest. The book kicks off with this incredibly powerful dedication from one of the authors, and wow, it just immediately grounds this big philosophical idea in a feeling that I think every single one of us has felt at some point. That simple, nagging question, what am I supposed to do with my life? That's the real human starting point for this entire journey. So, the whole story starts on a rainy night in a tiny little bar in Tokyo. The two authors, they knew of each other's work, but they never actually met. A friend set it up, and that night, their conversation stumbled onto a single mysterious word that was about to change everything. You see, they were talking about Western psychology, and specifically this idea from Viktor Frankl called logotherapy, which is all about our search for purpose. And that led them to this huge, universal question. Is the point of life just to live as long as possible? Or is it to find something that makes all that time worth living? And that's when they landed on the Japanese concept of Ikigai. Now, a rough translation is something like the happiness of always being busy. You can think of it like that logotherapy idea, but it's got this extra crucial layer. It's not just about finding your purpose, it's about living it out with this sense of joyful activity. And then, this abstract concept suddenly became very, very real. The authors found out that on the Japanese island of Okinawa, there are more people living past 100 than pretty much anywhere else on Earth. Get this, over 24 for every 100,000 people. That is just way beyond the global average. And they started to wonder, hold on a minute, could Ikigai be their secret? This connection was like a spark. It set off this whole quest. They realized that to truly understand Ikigai, they couldn't just read about it. They had to go to the source, a tiny town in Okinawa called Ogimi, which is literally known as the village of longevity. It has the highest life expectancy on the planet. So their path was clear. It all started with this chance meeting in a Tokyo bar, which turned into this deep talk about purpose, which led them to this word, Ikigai. And the next logical step, they had to go to Ogimi themselves. So they grabbed their cameras, their recorders, and they set off to uncover the secret. When they got to Ogimi, they found all the things you'd expect, right? A super healthy diet, a simple life spent mostly outdoors, lots of green tea, a warm climate, all the usual suspects for a long life. But something just felt like it was missing. These things alone didn't seem to explain the incredible joy and energy they were seeing in all the residents. The real secret, they soon discovered, wasn't just physical at all. As they started talking to and interviewing the village elders, they realized something much deeper, much more powerful was going on. There was this uncommon joy that just flowed through the whole community, a profound sense of purpose that guided their everyday lives. That was their Ikigai in action. And making this discovery led them to make a promise. Their new mission became crystal clear. They had to take the wisdom they found in this incredible village and find a way to share it with the rest of us. And that became the central promise of the whole book. To give every single reader the tools they need to find their own Ikigai. So this isn't just a fascinating story. It's meant to be a practical guide for anyone who's on that same search. Which, of course, leaves us with a big question. Okay, so what are those tools? How do we actually start this journey for ourselves? Well, to find out, you'll have to join us tomorrow as we jump right into Chapter 1. If you are ready to start finding your Ikigai, then you're definitely going to want to subscribe to Mish Minds so you don't miss a single daily chapter. And hey, if you found this introduction inspiring, if it got you thinking, a quick like on the video really does help us out a lot. And finally, we are always on the lookout for our next great book to explore. So, what should we cover after Ikigai? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I will see you tomorrow for Chapter 1.